Good afternoon. So here we are at the SMMT test day in Millbrook in Bedfordshire. Now I've been driving several brand new cars today, but Volkswagen have come and brought this 1981 Polo GLS as well. Now unfortunately I'm not able to drive this today, which is a shame, but this is a really good example of a Mark 1. They were made from 1975 to 1981. And this is an 81, so it's a very late one. And the GLS in this country was a top of the range one. I don't believe they got the GT over here. That would have had a slightly more powerful engine. This is a 1.1 engine with about 50 horsepower. Very, very rare in this country indeed. I don't remember seeing many of these at shows at all. Similarly with the Mark 1 Jettas. And my family used to love Volkswagens. In about 1980, they bought a brand new Polo. I think it was an LS. This is a GLS, which has a bit more specification. The facelift for these occurred in 1979. So it didn't last very long with facelifted ones. They were discontinued in late 1981 to make way for the Mark II. We've got a little brochure here of all the Polos in the range. This is a bit of information about it. So yeah, about 50 PS for this particular car. No passenger mirror, would have been an option. I think the radio is option as well. The aerial would have gone in just on that passenger side wing there. Very, very nice condition indeed. So we've got bits of chrome. We've got these nice chrome hubcaps and things like that. So yeah, very, very nice. Typical Volkswagen door handles, I think, shout of the Mark 1 Golf. So these cars came out in 1975. They were preceded by the Audi 50, which actually was the more luxurious version of these. The Audi 50 didn't last particularly long. I don't know why. They didn't really take to the market so much as the Polos did. One thing I do remember from older Volkswagens is the Wolfsburg logo on there, and this very, very kind of austere instrumentation. Because it's the GLS model, we've got this sort of wood strip on the dashboard as well. Only got a 4-speed gearbox. I don't think you could get a 5-speed gearbox in these at all, actually. There's the original dealer sticker for Volkswagen Audi over in Southport, Zetland Garage. I don't know the registration number of the car if it's all covered up, but there we go. One thing I straight away noticed, a comparison to a Mark II, and I'm very familiar. Oh, there we go. There's the registration number, 1981. JRN 917W. So yeah, early 1981 this car would have been registered. The sill is quite bad. It's really bad actually. The Mark II, particularly the bread van version, was a coupe and a bread van version. The bread van was the more sort of upright looking of the two hatchback designs. They have a much lower sill for loading in. And no speakers in the back at all, absolutely none. This car doesn't even have a radio, so I imagine that you needed to select one as an optional extra. Otherwise you've just got a blanking plate and a rubber bung where the aerial should go. But we've got a rear wash wipe. There's the tank there. Probably if you compare to, like, I don't know, a Mini would have been considered to be a rather practical car. Obviously the Metro came out about the same time this car registered, sort of in 1980, just before this one would have been made. And that was probably slightly more practical than this in terms of the boot, but similar size of thing, would have been benchmarked against this, I think, during development. I just love these, you know, completely basic, you know, vinyl door cards. But we've got this seat pattern that's very familiar to, I don't know, people into the early 80s Volkswagens. I think that's the way to get out. Yeah, you pull that red handle there, that's quite handy. Also got these long spindly stalks, which really sort of delicate little things, and the Mark II Polos also had similar ones to this as well. Lights are on this control here. This one is for hazard lights, bizarrely, and then just nothing. We've got a fog light switch here, which was compulsory in 1981 to have fog lamps. Rear heated window. And there's the fan control, that's the temperature control here, and that's the direction of the air. And that's it, the radio is not installed. There is no glove box, there's just a hole. There is a parcel shelf. I think Mr. Richards' review is driving would say that's a T-shelf. Windy windows, of course. You've got quarter lights that open in this car. I don't know in some models that with opening quarter lights. But this steering wheel is so familiar to people who are into the more basic 1970s, 1980s Volkswagens. This instrument cluster as well, just these little LEDs in the middle, you know, Mark II Polos, Mark II Golfs, very similar little LEDs, and not even all the LEDs are occupied, there's only 6 and there's space for more. So if I turn that on, there we go, there's the hazard lights going on there. So you don't really have to move your fingers very far, and also because of the different lengths, there's no way you're accidentally going to knock the lights out like this if you're sort of indicating something like that. You can't, because you're so far away it's not going to happen. Similarly with the wiper stalk and the hazard light switch, so quite well designed. No rev counter, of course. There was a GT model of a Polo available with about 59 horsepower, but I don't think they sold those over here actually, which is a shame. There's just not a lot to say really. You've got only 2 vents in here. That would be for the speaker if the radio actually fitted. Ashtray, of course, with some coins in it. Wow, what if any old 50p's in there? Yeah, just a 4-speed manual. Let's just test that and see what it's like. Actually, the seat goes back quite a long way for an old car like this. So there's plenty of room for the average driver. So be down for reverse like that, and then into first and things like that. So yeah, 28,000 miles from new. Consider Volkswagen highly prized this car in the heritage fleet. So yeah, plenty of adjustment, no hard adjustment or anything like that, but plenty of adjustment for a car like this of this era. Headliner, very typical kind of vinyl, like a Volvo 240 or something. Mirror attached to here rather than to the windscreen. Another feature car, so it's a cigarette lighter, or cigar lighter maybe at the time. That would have been a nice feature. The interior light is down here. Why? I have no idea. I've absolutely no idea why it's down there. Why we can't fit one in here, which would have been on a Mark II, would have been up here, and just 2 vents. Just you only get 2 vents, and that's it. So on the more basic ones, I'm not even sure we got this wood effect panel. Right, let's have a look under the bonnet at the 1.1 50 horsepower engine. So a little overhead cam 1093cc engine developing about 50 horsepower. I think this is an overhead cam design. I'm pretty sure it is. We're still on a carb. I don't think there's even auto choke in here, just a manual choke. Battery lives up there on the scuttle. This car is in fantastic condition for a car that, well, it's older than me actually, this car. So yeah, it's in very, very nice condition indeed. Typical sort of colour of the year, this kind of light metallic green with this sort of face of the front end. I think it looks very smart. I think particularly this is a lot nicer than an LS would have been. These sort of chrome bits on it, which make it look a bit better, although they don't really do very much. They just make you, I don't know, prouder of owning one of these. And it just reminds you how far cars have come in the last 50 years. They have a let's get this right, Mark 6 Polo here, and it's a GTI and everything. I mean, it's nice, but I kind of like this, particularly because you know, it reminds me of the sort of what has to happen in the 1980s, and when these cars were common, and the fact that actually when my parents brought my twin sister and I back from hospital in early 1983, this is what we went in. They had a Jetta after that because we needed a bit larger car for all of us. But yeah, it's fascinating. One thing I must do is actually just get in the back and see how big the seats are. I don't think I'm going to fit in there very well somehow. Okay, we're going to go to the driver's side. Right. As you can see, and this is a problem you also get on the Mark II Polos, that seat doesn't slide forward when you want to get in the back. That's all you get. So try not to trip over the seat belt. Now, can we actually close this with me inside it? Well, it's all right, I suppose. It's not too bad. If there's a shorter drive, it would be even better. Well, it's all right, isn't it? We've got these inertia reel lap belts in the back, which will do something in an accident, I'm sure. But it's okay. And I remember the Mark II's, these amazing grab handles, which are the same in here. So, sort of different, but sort of not. But instrument cluster in the Mark II is very similar to that. In the early cars, and look at this handbrake. You don't even get a handbrake grip, it's just a bare metal handbrake. We do get an ashtray though, because probably it's a GLS feature, we get an ashtray in the back. just on the right hand side for some reason. What does it say in here? Polo and Kurzes Auto kommt groß heraus. A nice German advert, if my autofocus will actually go on there. Thank you. Excellent. Yeah. Wonderful. Whoops. Do you know what, viewers? Now I've had a look at this, I really want to drive one. I don't know if that's ever going to be possible in my life, considering how rare these are. But I know the brakes will be terrible. I know the steering will be heavy. But if this is for me, this is sort of Genesis. This is the first car I ever travelled in was one of these, and so of course it's going to be something that's very special. But thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again soon for, well, something else entirely different.